The most powerful king in Babylon lost his mind and lived like an animal. But why would God allow a mighty king to fall so low? Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, stood one night upon the roof of his palace and looked over the city he had built. The towers gleamed in the moonlight, the river shone like silver, and the streets below stirred with the lives of thousands. He folded his hands behind his back and said in his heart, "Is this not great Babylon, which I have built by my power and for the glory of my majesty?" But in the courts of heaven, pride is never unnoticed. Long before that night, the king had been warned by a dream. He had seen a great tree that gave shelter to beasts and birds, until a messenger from heaven commanded that it be cut down, leaving only the stump. Daniel, the prophet, trembled as he explained the meaning. The tree was the king himself. His greatness would be taken away until he learned that the Most High rules over the kingdoms of men. Daniel pleaded with him to break off his sins, show mercy to the poor, and walk humbly before God. Yet a year passed, and the warning was forgotten. Then, while the words of boasting were still in Nebuchadnezzar's mouth, a voice from heaven declared that the kingdom was departing from him. At once his mind was shattered. The mighty king who once gave commands to nations was driven from his palace. He ate grass like cattle, lived among the beasts of the field, and the rain fell upon him night after night. His hair grew wild, his nails thickened, and the world that had once bowed before him now passed him by. Days became months, and months became seasons. In his abasement, Nebuchadnezzar had nothing left to trust but the mercy of God. At last, one morning, after his heart had been broken enough to be healed, he lifted his eyes toward heaven. And with that humble glance, his understanding returned. He rose up and praised the Lord of heaven, saying that God's dominion is everlasting and his kingdom endures from generation to generation. The king understood at last that power, breath, and wisdom are gifts, not trophies. Everything he had was given, everything he had lost was permitted, and the God who humbled him was the same God who restored him. Then the Lord returned him to his throne. But Nebuchadnezzar was no longer the same man. He had learned that a crown becomes lighter when it is worn under the fear of God. The story of the king who became like an animal teaches this: pride brings a man low, but humility before the Most High leads to restoration, because God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble.